An absolute banger of a show we had on Monday. Kept all of our traders safe. Now we're getting a little bit of a relief rally, but of course we have to discuss it and figure out where are we going from there. You guys know why you show up for this market analysis that really has been challenging these market makers for years now, and we continue to stay profitable. These are fun times, and it's simply because Novex.finance is insanely easy to operate and to just go trade and go win. It's in our pocket, it's in our minds. Let's fricking run it up, baby. Let's like and repost the stream. We got a good topic for y'all and just some good market sentiment. But as always, we're gonna play a couple songs, vibe out. I'll be posting the Novex Chill Vibes Suno playlist link as always in the comments, so check it out. But good to be here with y'all. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Let's get it, baby.
Top down, sun going on the chrome, I'm locked in. Whole squad talking about the charts, we tapped in. Novex in my pocket, that's the high line. Turn a long week into a good sign. Used to clock in, clock out, same story. Scrolling on my phone, dreaming about a lane for me. Then I seen the candles, colors on the same screen. Game playing clean, feeling like a daydream. One tap, now I'm reading all the facts, that's grown talk. Money on a mission, I don't chase, I let it walk. Learn the levels, learn the risk, never rushing. Patience in the stash, now my future stay flushing. From the couch to the cloud, I was second guessing. Now I'm chart checking, every session is a lesson. Little win stack, that's compounding grace. Now I bring calm to a fast marketplace. No vex in my pocket, yeah, I move with ease. Smooth with the numbers like a west coast breeze. From the lows to the highs, I just ride that wave. Turn a plan to a profit, watch the mindset raise. No vex in my pocket, put the fear on mute. Lay back, hustle with a long view route. If you feel that shift when the doubt gets loud, let the screen light up, we gon' break that cloud. Sunrise check, I ain't stressing at the open. Got a watch list built, every symbol got a motor. Wrist set tight, I ain't tryna chase hype. Discipline, drip, drip, that's a different type of life. I remember over trading, hands sweating on the pad. Now I breathe first, let the noise run past. Journal on the desk, every move, every reason. Turn loss into wisdom, that's a champion season. Group chat buzzing, everybody on the same road. Share a little game, pay it forward as it grows. See my cousin just start, eyes wide, heart heavy. Told him small size, big plan, keep steady. We don't gamble, we don't prey on the spike. We just study, set a limit, live life we like. Still barbecue, still laugh, still chill. But the future in the background, slowly getting filled. No vex in my pocket, yeah, I move with ease. Smooth with the numbers like a west coast breeze. From the lows to the highs, I just ride that wave. Turn a plan to a profit, watch the mindset raise. No vex in my pocket, put the fear on mute. Lay back, hustle with a long view route. If you feel that shift when the doubt gets loud, let the screen light up, we gon' break that cloud. 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 More than green on the screen, it's a mind state. Mind state, mind state. We don't fold when the line shake. We just zoom out, see the whole play. From the first small buy to the first withdrawal, that's proof you can build from a little bit of all. Yeah, that's yours now. On your lane, on your route, stand tall. Yeah. OG turf where they told us take what you can. Now it's playing what you keep, let it work in your hand. Neighborhood can see me scroll, asking what I'm watching. Just some candles and some patience, little bro, that's options. I ain't selling dreams, I'm just showing them the process. Tiny daily steps, same time, that's progress. It ain't overnight, but it's over time. And over doubt, over fear, over every old line. Now my mom more calm, bills paid on the first. I'm a toast to the charts that reverse that curse. Still the same me, white tee, same sneakers. But the balance say I leveled up the speaker. Look, if you lost, we can learn it together. Check the trend, check the news, check the look.
Written in these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gap still bleed and chill.
Forest on mute, but the numbers kill. Novex finance, cold and still. Trade talk loud, no cap, no fill. Coming in clutch when the screen get ill. Mr. Clutch, keep me calm when I overfill. Mr. Clutch, keep me calm when I overfill. Left eye on the chart, right eye on pain. Hand steady like a sniper in rain. Force breath cold, hard and chains. Every wicked lesson, every loss a gain. I move like that through terrain. Cold my path, never complain. Coffee black, screen on stain. Alpha ain't luck, it's strange domain. Deeper and deeper, candle to tangle. Price and chaos is a you don't handle. Deeper and deeper, candle to candle. Price and chaos is a battle handle. Deeper and deeper, candle to candle. Price and chaos is a battle handle. Novex knows in the fog we march. Trade lines etched like bark on notch. Coming in clutch and a phrase is charged. Mr. Clutch pray while the ticks discharge. Reading these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Voice on mute, but the numbers kill. Deeper and deeper, candle to candle. Price and chaos is a battle handle. Deeper and deeper, candle to candle. Price and chaos is a battle handle. Reading these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Force on mute, but the numbers kill. Novex finance, car is still. Reading these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Force on mute, but the numbers kill. Reading these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Force on mute, but the numbers kill. Deep heartbeat sync with the trend line. Blood on the chart, there's a deadline. I see fear in their eyes through the headline. They ain't quant, they just scroll timeline. I keep math like ammo, cold precise. Entry points measure, exit twice. Silence the noise, pay the price. One bad click, you sacrifice. Algorithm twitch in the moonlight gleam. Trade talk space ain't just a stream. It's a war room brief with the alpha team. Coming in clutch, we redefine dream. We redefine dream. Reading these charts like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Forced on mute, but the numbers kill. Novex wins like a precision drill. No luck here, just timing and will. Seeing me gaps still bleed and chill. Forced on mute, but the numbers kill. Drill to the chart bleeds order. Drill to the chart bleeds order. Deeper and deeper, candle to candle. Discipline's the weapon. Patience the trigger. Trade talk forever. Charts dance, red and green, crypto tango. Clutch sees the angles, move sharper than Rambo. Bear trap snap, but he walks unfazed. Like Fibonacci spirals, his plan's a maze. Bull runs charge, he rides them like a kingpin. Signal singing, wallets fat, digits clinging. Never panic sell, now he calculates. Eyes on a breakout while the market debates. Clutch moves, he don't flinch, no fear. Candles glow bright when the path ain't clear. Clutch moves, he's the one they all cheer. Stacking those wins year after year. He reads charts like books, Elliott Wave plots. Others guessing blind, Clutch connects the dots. MACD, RSI, trendline sniper. Why they chase the hype? He's the quiet decipher. Whispers to himself, patience pays the bold. Timing the entries, that gets pure gold. No noise in his zone, just signals he reads. Plays the long game, planting profit seeds. Clutch moves, he don't flinch, no fear. Candles glow bright when the path ain't clear. Clutch moves, he's the one they all cheer. Stacking those wins year after year.
Oh, yeah, baby. The moves are set. Man, it's exciting to just wake up and see the market operate in a way that kind of looks familiar. And why do I say it looks familiar? Well, I've been talking about it, expecting swings, expecting the dump, seeing where it's going to go, where will it bounce from, and these things just get absolutely fun. It's such a puzzle, such a maze, but along the way, you realize Novex Finance has little stations all across that maze in which you can come through, vibe, relax, learn, grow, and continue to apply the things that are necessary for you to become a winning trader. Part of that is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are here for Trade Talk, brought to you by traders for traders. So much so that we created our own exchange. We were tired of all the clunky, slow, not your keys, not your cheese exchanges, not to mention just a lot of other negative stuff that I don't need to mention. Point is, we are now fully in control. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. I haven't began to start revealing some of the campaigns and the different things that we're going to be doing with SocialFi getting an absolute curveball from X. You are going to want to stick around, pay attention over the next coming weeks because I am releasing something that is going to be amazing for anyone that is using Novex.finance. So check us out, join the Telegram, NovexFi. Just go to the search bar. You don't need a link, just type in NovexFi. Same as our X handle. You can come find us on X. You can see our TG link there. Overall, though, this is the place where you can come ask questions, and get some of the best sentiment from the market that is hard to come by. And we are becoming the norm, creating the regular establishment, the coffee shop, so to speak, for all of our traders. So stick around, baby. Let's get to it. Tap in with the few homies we got up here. We got Andrew up here first. What's up, homie? What you got going on? How was your day? How was your last 2 days since Trade Talk? And what topic do you have for us, my dude?
Man, I'm doing good. It's always good to be on here hanging with the homies. Had a good couple days. Been grinding some poker on ACR. You know how we roll, baby. But yeah, I think we'll probably be grinding some poker a little later too. But man, I also been doing some trading. You know, I think we've been on the right of everything. If you guys have been tuning in on all platforms, you know, we were hanging with Ghost yesterday. We really talked about this little pump we got overnight yesterday. So it's gonna be fun to catch up with everybody today. But yeah, guys, what's up, everybody? This is Trade Talk, powered by Novex Finance. If this is your first time here, welcome. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and this goes out to X, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Rumble, TikTok, everywhere, right? So regardless of them from, make sure you like, sub, follow me, and clutch, because we want to make sure you guys don't miss. We make these episodes all about getting to the money, and you know we spend a lot of time, gives us free time to stream things like poker, video games, chess, all that good stuff. But these Trade Talk episodes are all about making money in crypto. So just to give you guys a rundown of how these go down is we generally do a check-in topic, you know, something to keep us ahead of the curve on the market or where things are going. And then after we check in with everybody, we throw it over to Clutch. He looks at the charts. He lets us know what he's seeing. He calls a range for the next couple. Then we try to call a trade. We're gonna get to it. You know, I want to throw out our check-in question for everybody. Then I want to tell everybody a little more about Novex real quick, and then we'll get to the check-in question. But in case you guys didn't know, I got noties on for Steak and Shake, so I noticed. But Steak and Shake is paying all hourly employees 21 cents an hour in Bitcoin as a bonus. It's kind of cool, I think. This might be where all the crypto bros go when the bear market comes instead of McDonald's. But do you guys think they're setting a standard to where we're going to businesses and corporations start paying out Bitcoin bonus. I think Steak and Shake's an interesting one because they have set a standard with a lot of these changes they made, and it's been great for their the returns for stock. So I think it's pretty interesting. I'm curious what you guys think about that. But before we go over to that, guys, I want to talk about Novex Finance real quick. Guys, Novex is the people's exchange. It was built by traders for traders. Me, Clutch, and Ghost. Man, we've had partnerships with all the major exchanges as far as like ambassadors and people that have referral links and stuff like that. And we saw a lot of stuff we liked with all those exchanges, and there's a lot of stuff we didn't like with all those exchanges. And at the end of the day, it came down to not your keys, not your cheese. So we wanted to launch a DEX, but what we did is we took everything we've liked from every exchange that we've worked with and made sure that our DEX had that. And so we give you all the bells and whistles that you're gonna want as a trader. So you guys want to make sure you're checking out Novex, trading there. But most importantly, the thing about Novex is, as a whole, the platform are winning. And I haven't had anybody be able to tell another trading platform yet to where as a whole the traders are winning there. And the reason that happened on Novex is because of these trade talks every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Ghost Cup in hand every Tuesday and Thursday. But make sure, that's why you guys want to make sure you follow stuff. You never miss any of those. But most importantly, jump in the Novex Telegram. And the Novex Telegram is where the alpha is at, man. That's where, I'm sharing some trades at. Clutch is sharing a bunch of trades at. And Ghost shares every single trade he makes. Every time Ghost, enters a trade and trims some profit or even trims a stop loss, he's telling you in the chat. And that's why we're profitable as an exchange, because we give you all the handholding you need to be successful. But not only that, we give you the trades, we give you the range, and we give the directions. All you got to do is create a wallet, fund your Novex, and you can win with us. Guys, jump in the Telegram, create your Novex account. If you need any help, just hit the chat and let us know. But that's Novex, guys. We're going to hit some trades here today. We're going to look at the charts. So I want to get into it and talk about this topic a little bit, just in case somebody's just now tuning in. Steak and Shake announced yesterday that they're paying all hourly employees a 21-cent bonus in Bitcoin. I think it's kind of cool. Do you guys think that they are setting a standard when it comes to businesses and corporations giving people some Bitcoin equity? Let's kick it off, Massimo. Massimo, how you doing? And what do you think about this Steak and Shake Bitcoin bonus?
Hey, good morning. It's G-Pup. He's on his way to the microphone right now. Here he is. Good morning, fam. Sorry. You guys hear me all right?
Good morning, bro.
Hit me.
Gotcha. How you doing, bro? And what do you think about this Steak and Shake?
I mean, I'm all about a Bitcoin bonus. So I spent about 11 years as a partner with a healthcare and financial consulting firm, including as an accredited investment fiduciary. And we had about 250 or so corporate retirement accounts under management. And I remember very early on when I started, mind you, this is about 13 years ago-ish. If you talked anything crypto related to these investment people, right? Like, I mean, when I say it was like a big no-no, like the broker dealers, the folks who oversaw our trades, like we were not even allowed to hint anything from an investment standpoint as it pertained to commercial retirement or corporate retirement accounts, Bitcoin or Bitcoin ETF or anything like that related, like period. And it's amazing how that dynamic shifted, and then all of a sudden it came from, you guys need to get up with time, and it's like, well, if you quit like hand holding us and pulling us back, like we've been trying to implement this for a long time. So I've seen kind of the progression through that, but what I will say is, as a small business owner myself, I had a few guys that were with me full time for a year and a half, and I started bonusing them with spot crypto. And when I was bonusing them with spot crypto at that time, it was starting, Solana was like $90. And what I can say this is, if you don't have if these folks don't have enough of an understanding, right, of what's going on, they're just going to look at it simply. They're not going to look at it as an investment, like a long-term investment or retirement, right? They're going to look at it as just money. And so I had to, like, at the end of the day, it was their wallet. I was sending it to them, but my rule was, hey, you can't sell unless I say you can, or 90 days. There's a 90-day vesting period for all your stuff, to try and show them that, hey, if you just let this sit, it will grow at minimum. And it finally got to the point to where, they were literally just taking it every single time. So I just was like, hey, I'm like, all right, implementing new rule. You either leave that in until you either A, leave my company, or B, 6 months vesting period. I was like, or I'll just stop. And honestly, what was wild to me is that despite me literally handholding them through the whole process, they never got super excited about it. However, I had one individual who literally changed his life through it, because he ended up understanding how money can be used as a tool to make more money, and kind of applied that into other areas of his life. But on the flip side, I got one guy working with me full time right now, as you guys know, G-Pup, and he gladly takes a payment in crypto and stuff like that. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, just like anything from an adaptation standpoint, they're getting more and more comfortable with it. Like, the world globally, as a society, is getting more and more comfortable with it. So we should see things being a better received in that department than the years prior, for sure.
No, I'm with you, and it's been interesting for me too to watch how these major corporations have transformed their views on it. I remember when me and my buddy were going to start a little business together, and I wanted to accept crypto for it. We're opening a bank account, had our LLC and everything, and I'm at the bank talking about, like, yeah, I'd like to accept crypto, and the business manager, the bank's like, you guys can't do that. Somebody just can't go start their own currency, and now you got banks, Bitcoin and stuff like that. And interesting,
like, actually, too, sir, you can.
You make an interesting point with your point about vesting it, and a lot of your employees didn't necessarily understand that it was meant not just like a bonus that you're going to go spend at the club, like like a lot of people do with their bonuses. But that's one thing that I noticed Steak and Shake is doing too. You've got to vest it for a year, and I think it's good. I think they're protecting people with that.
Yeah, and I do think that that's the right way to go about it, especially, again, like, all you're doing is showing them what the crypto world is actually like, right? Like, if you're holding it over a course of a year, unless you're buying it at the very top, like, you're going to see a return,
Yeah, for sure. And like, there's people, I don't know how common it is anymore, but like when I was in private school, my mom had to work 2 jobs for me to go, and even with the discount we got, but she worked at Steak and Shake at night after her normal job. And there were servers there, like these older women, because I worked there for a little bit in high school too. And there were women that were there for like 20 years. So imagine if you're somebody that like ends up working at like Steak and Shake or something like that for years, and you're just getting your 21 cents an hour put it in the Bitcoin. And,
dude, there are
maybe
organizations out there like that, like 110%. Like, my wife works for, she's a major corporation, works for Eli Lilly. They have a pension, bro, like a straight pension, and she's now and she gets stock options and stuff and things like that. Like, I remember I told her years ago when she's like, hey, I have an option. I can get stock or this or bonus. I'm like, if there is stock as an option, you always get it. Lily, last time I looked, was trading around like $800 ish, ranging somewhere there. We had, we were talking. It's funny. I was talking to my dad and my brother last time about when Lily was trading at $800, and then they're like, yeah, it's crazy. It's right on the same price. It's like, yeah, except it had a freaking reverse split a year ago also. I was like, so that $800, my wife's 20 shares or whatever it was, is now 40, and it's wild, because we were joking around and saying to ourselves, like, man, if we had just simply bought Lily stock with every single dollar that we invested over the course of our total amount trading, we would literally have a better return today than we do with things that we've had. Like, it's wild. But all I was going to say at the end is that's how you keep employees.
No, I agree. Something like that would be very attractive to me. I've always been that guy who wants the equity in something I believe in. Good, Massimo. I knew you'd have some great insights on this. Let's throw it across the pond. Let's check in with the homie Alex. Alex, how you doing this morning? Do you guys have Steak and Shake in the UK?
We don't, but I think I might have to move to America and get a job and eat steak and get paid in Bitcoin. It sounds awesome. So what else? They got shakes there as well?
So it's kind of a deceiving name, I guess, because they're steak burgers. So it's like a hamburger. They got some really good burgers and they got some really good shakes and some really good chili. So it's probably like the top tier fast food in the United States.
So yeah, whatever, man. I need a job. I need a green card. Which one of you guys am I marrying?
We'll work it out. We'll
work it out.
I heard there's some
I have a chicken.
Somalians looking for citizenship.
Well, not just that. I do have a chicken that tends to like bland food. So that's definitely up the UK's alley there. So I'll let you know. I'll talk to my chicken.
Remember, I'm French. Yeah, so I eat good food.
You keep saying that. You keep saying you're French, but I don't know if there's a chance I'll ever believe that. I have to see your birth certificate.
I'll send you the passport, man. Yeah.
Yeah, passports can be deceived and lied on. I don't know how I feel about the passport being enough.
Did you guys get your gas rebate from the GUI thing? By the way,
the what?
You can get the GUI, the foundation. You sign up and you can. They'll give you some of your gas back.
For SUI, you said?
No, for GUI. Ethereum.
No, bro. First of all, you would have had to have used, or you mean Ethereum gas?
Yeah.
You'll get back all your Ethereum gas?
No, but they're giving you tokens in their new whatever. They're going to have a token soon, GUI, and you can sign up and get some of your gas back or something, man.
It's interesting. Not gonna lie.
I'll put the links in comments.
Okay. All right.
What's up, Andrew? Think we're going to see some businesses in the UK follow suit and start paying out bonuses in Bitcoin?
I hope so. Our SEC, the English one, are a bit more flexible than you guys. So we see the law and then we kind of bend it, full on gangster style. So I would have thought that there'll be somebody's been paying out in Bitcoin. I mean, I'm going tomorrow to my mate. He's got a coffee shop and everything, and you can pay in Bitcoin there. You get 50% discount if you use Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody like Mackie D's or someone like that paying out in Bitcoin and stuff, man. Why not? Why not?
That's pretty cool about your buddy's shop. There's a few places around here that accept some Bitcoin stuff.
Well, unfortunately, it's Bitcoin and Casper. So, but who else, Casper, and who wants to pay in Bitcoin? To be fair, but it is 50% off.
Dude, that's tight. That's tight. I just swap out some Casper and send it in for some Casper and send it over the 50% off. Good to hear
something like that.
Good to hear from you, Alex. Man, I know you're always grinding. let's check in with the homie Ghost. I know Ghost is just went up, probably getting his first sips of coffee in him. Ghost, how you doing on this early morning? And what do you think about this thick and shake Bitcoin bonus? Are all the crypto bros going to be working there come peak bear market?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out if my camera's on or what, because I definitely just woke up, definitely drinking my coffee, dog. It's a little bit, my body, bro. You know my body. I don't know, dude. I'm just thinking like quick math. You said 21 cents per hour?
Yep.
8-hour shift, 40-hour week. I don't know, 10 years. That's $4,368, bro, worth of Bitcoin. And right now they're going to be basically top blasting. So I'm not sure if this is something to really get my hat on right now, or
Stop choosing violence this early. Goes damn.
Listen, Linda.
Linda, listen.
I look, it's a start. Okay, so kudos to them for starting. They clearly top blasted. They're trying to figure out exit liquidity. So they figured, let's just hook the homies up with a couple
a strategy.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Ghost is like most of us, and that a lot of us that are at least on here right now. And you've probably never worked an hourly job, but I think at an hourly job, 21 cents an hour is actually pretty good for a bonus.
Well, first things first, I definitely worked a job. Now, was it to disguise my hustle? Did I work at a restaurant and use my tips as my laundering of money? Perhaps. I didn't have to serve time for no reason. But
you guys are freaking idiots.
But let me tell you this much. I am kind of that actually kind of concerned me. Like, honestly, when you told me that this was a real thing right now, I did get a little bit of a pit in my stomach. Like, damn, they're down bad. They must have bought the top. They don't want to look like they're not degens anymore for their, holders. So they're probably going to just disperse some of that out to the employees, kind of break them off a bit. But no, all jokes aside, man, I definitely think it's a start. A similar story to Massimo. I got a really good friend of mine, bro. I've known him since, I don't even know, bro, since probably 99. And he's been in the banking industry at least a decade and a half, 2 decades now. I used to try and talk to him about Bitcoin 2017 a little bit. Like, do you heard about this? And he just shit on it like right away. And then, I respect him from a business standpoint a lot. 2020 pandemic hit, and I hit him up again like, yo, bro. And he's like, nah, bro. Shit's like, you could trade it, sure, dude, but it's nothing yet, bro. Nothing burger, And then, of course, administration changed, and he actually called me and was like, you know what? Administration change. This is where things get a bit different, bro. I'm actually a Bitcoin maxi now. And he kind of broke down to me why, and at first I was like, what an idiot. He was so late. He could have been in so early. But the truth is, it was the opposite. It was like, nah, dog, until I can get confirmation that this is going to be widely used and adopted, to him, it was irrelevant. He's a very, very, he's a wealth management banker at one of the largest banks in the world. And that was a moment of truth for me. That was a moment where I realized, like, yeah, okay, cool. So this is definitely going to be here forever. And it's definitely going to be, in the long haul, worth a lot more than it's worth now. Because that's the only way he invests. Is like 10 years from now, what am I looking at? Adoption is massive. You're talking about a publicly traded corporation that's now figuring out ways to put cryptocurrency in the possession of all of their employees. Now, I haven't looked up the numbers on how many employees they have, but it's a revolving door in the restaurant industry. So you're talking about a lot of holders, whether they decide to hold it or cut it right away, it's irrelevant. It's volume, it's interest. It's definitely for every 100 people that get paid their 21 cents an hour, 1 out of 100 is going to keep that shit forever. I'd say 2 out of 100 will never know how to sell. It's too complicated for them. There's a decent percentage of people, though, that are going to now know about how this thing works. And I think they might be the start to trigger some other corporations that have perhaps maybe top blasted and looking for a little bit of a, extra oomph to entice people to work with them, work for them, be a part of it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is actually, once again, bullish for like the 10-year plan, but it's definitely less impactful for most of those employees right now. I think if they're smart enough to hold it and say whatever, it's extra bonus that I wouldn't have even had anyway, and they just let it kind of sit, the power of compounding is real. And even though it's not much now, it could be worth a lot in the future. You know what I mean? It really can be. So I think it's kind of cool, bro. And I definitely think they're figured out a really good strategy for exit liquidity. Honestly.
Well, hey,
Well, think about the top blasting. Oh, sorry, Andrew. There's a little delay. Think about the top blasting and the tax write-offs from all that freaking loss, the impermanent loss.
Right.
Say they just keep top blasting right now to pay these bonuses all the way down to 40K Bitcoin. Bro, that's write-off and a half, dude.
100%, bro.
Yeah, dude. You write off the expense, then you write off the loss. It's a win-win.
I think it is, bro. I really do. I think it is. I mean, how many employees does this public company have? Do we know? Does anyone know? What's their symbol?
Steak and Shake, dude, they're pretty big. I mean, gotta have like over 100,000 employees. I'm sure.
I'm gonna look up Steak and Shake right now. I'm curious.
Maybe I'm not over 100,000, but.
And they're publicly traded, no?
Oh yeah, they got 20,000
Correct.
employees. So I might have thought they're a little bigger. I guess the United States based and not every.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, 20,000.
It's 20,000 holders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is a lot of
Yeah.
holders. And an introductory, most importantly, to most of them. I guarantee if you're working at Steak and Shake, you probably don't, own Bitcoin, let alone cryptocurrency like that. You know what I mean? I think it's cool, bro. I think it's cool. I think more companies will definitely follow suit. I do think this will be the start of many doing that, honestly. But yeah, man, that's a good topic, bro. That's a really good topic. I didn't even know that was happening.
Oh, thanks, Tommy. No, I've been following them because they started accepting Bitcoin over the summer, and actually they were at Bitcoin Vegas. I think they officially started accepting Bitcoin at Bitcoin Vegas. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then just them getting behind the health movement of, trying to make the way they're cooking their stuff a little bit healthier. I thought was cool. So I've been paying attention to what they're doing, and they're trying to be innovative, and you got to, and the fact that they're embracing accepting, I think Clutch really nailed it with the tax write-off. That's what I was going to say before, because I bet most of this Bitcoin that they're giving out is Bitcoin that they're accepting for purchases. So like they're not necessarily having the expense of buying it that traditionally comes with owning an asset like this, and then they're able to take that asset that they normally get dollars, which are deflationary. Now they got Bitcoin, which is inflationary, and they can give you your 21 cents an hour with their inflationary assets. So like, to me, it's a win-win all around from like the tax, the introductory aspect, and then if you're somebody that truly tries to dial, you can you can use the hold this for 10 years. It's like truly trying to climb and Steak and Shake or whatever. So yeah, but Clutch, man, what do you think about this, and what are you seeing on the charts, homie?
Man, for me, right, like these are just things that happen that kind of point to like really what's going on here, which is just companies don't get it. Um, yeah, this is cool and all. Yeah, people are getting rewarded if you're the end user. It's not the end of the world, right? Like you kind of like to see things like this that bring you value. But the reality here is this is a financial crime in this way. Do they not know anyone on their side that could have properly told them when to release this? Like, hey, we're going to announce this, we're going to do it, but we're going to start this queue of this. You know what I'm saying? Like having a certain price target. Like, hey, yeah, you're supposed to get it every week, let's say, but we may not pay it every week. We may only pay it every 6 months because there's a price target that we're going to only pay. We will not pay if it's above a certain threshold. And then those thresholds are kind of revolving depending on what part of the cycle you're in, right? Like right now, that threshold should be, dude, we're not buying anything above 90K. If they're buying 90K when you could have bought 80K just a crap ton of times, is the example that I'm trying to give here and what I would be looking for to kind of tell me this is a business savvy move and not just a, hey, we're just trying to gain some form of notoriety. It's almost as if it's a ploy to bring eyes to their company, right? And hey, it's a good one. I'm not going to knock it for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think marketing strategy for sure. But like what
Absolutely.
Andrew said too, they're accepting Bitcoin as payment. So if maybe it is something along the lines of just their revolving little cycle, and it's like no love lost. I'm with you 100% though. Savviness, I don't know, but
Like,
definitely
yeah,
marketing is super smart strategy.
right. And like these are the moments where I would love to see, like, where were all these companies in the previous bear markets? Where were they on liquidation day? It's almost like they all come to the space to do these things once it's like over. It feels like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like this just does not feel properly strategized. The announcement, what you're trying to do, I
Well, Clark,
think that would have been massive, but the execution is where I'm not a fan of.
well, you got to think though, they've been accepting Bitcoin for 7, 8 months now, and I think if you're Steak and Shake, there's somebody that's been around since like the '60s, so like they're on that 20-year timeline.
Right.
Realistic timeline that most people can't play. They can play that timeline and accumulate little bits of Bitcoin for their steak burgers, and if Bitcoin goes to 10 million over 20 years, that's the biggest win, easiest investment they ever made that's on their books.
Correct.
And it's more liquid.
I do agree there.
As Tesla's price.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I do agree there. And the one thing that would make me bullish on the sentiment here that they have is if they were doing we've accepted Bitcoin and our way of top selling would be to distribute it to your holders in the form of those gifts. I think that would make me bullish, but I don't think that's what's going on here. I think what they're failing to recognize is this. Michael Saylor once went out of business and he committed a lot of financial crimes in his previous life and his previous career before MicroStrategy. And now he's doing the exact same thing that led complete devastation to those businesses that he was involved in. And now everyone's wanting to do the Michael Saylor strategy because they have a short-term memory only where they forget the long-term stuff that happened that destroyed many, many lives for improper investment as a big corporation. It's one thing for you and I to need money. Once a corporation gets to a point where they need money, there's really no saving them other than bailouts that just don't benefit you as a company and only the investors bailing you out. So for me, like I'm looking at this, like it just doesn't feel right because to me, they are doing the Michael Saylor strategy, and that's very, very dangerous and detrimental. We are yet to see what's going to happen to MicroStrategy if Bitcoin were to hit 30, 40K and suddenly they are worth half of what that business has, and they keep liquidating everything to go to Bitcoin. Now, this company isn't doing the exact same thing, but Michael Saylor didn't start going for broke day one either. So for me, this is a real sus situation where you're being kind of not necessarily manipulated, but you're being influenced by the wrong thing.
I can see your point on that. I don't think they're in like I don't know what they've been buying, but I think most of their accumulation has come from customers.
Yeah, and if that's the case and they're distributing that, okay, cool. I'll be bullish on that. But if it's what I think it is, which is they
No,
want to be cool and they're just buying, good
no.
freaking luck.
Look, you hit it on the head. It's marketing, bro. So their quarter revenue in quarter two, Q2 of 2025, since announcing the fact that they're accepting Bitcoin, they had a 12% year over year increase. But they also added that the momentum kept going in Q3. They had the same store sales up 15%, outpacing McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Starbucks. This was definitely a ploy to get people's eyes on the prize, and who else is going to be going to a burger joint like this. It's individuals in the crypto space that would prefer to spend a little bit less on a burger that rather
Dang,
than
I
making their
think you
own.
nailed it.
Yeah, bro. Did we lose him or did
No, I'm here. Who did we lose? Ledger?
oh, I don't know if he said something, but I don't know if he's on a delay or if
Yeah,
I'm
Andrew
here.
has a delay. Yeah, there's a delay with Andrew. I think he's on a PC.
Yeah, I'm on a
Andrew,
PC.
for sure. We might have to get you here on the phone, bro. You have a delay,
I'm
but
on
whatever.
PC,
We'll
I'm
figure it out.
late.
I phone on. I
Yeah,
got my
like
phone on here.
right. Well, yeah, like I want to be bullish on this, guys. Like I truly do. I want to be. I'm a natural bull. You're you're entering crypto. You're a corporation. Eyes, marketing ploy or not, that's still fun. Why would that not be fun, right? When you have, you have this type of attention in an attention economy. I don't think we can really knock the play like that. Where people like me are different is I strategize to where is this going to lead you to? What goes, what you mentioned there with those stats kind of told me that there's a little residual excitement and people shilling their restaurant to their family and friends. Like, you should probably come through now. We're cool. We're Bitcoiners. You're still fast food, or you still like, just it doesn't feel natural that way. And for me, like those numbers should have been growing. It should be compounding for you to do better. But guess why it's not? We are in an incoming, if not already, recession that has been going on since Trump took over in office. And we have masked everything going on in this country with fake pumps to gold and silver because they know the incoming. The real estate market is still reeling. Food prices and inflation across the world are just in a very devastating position. And just there's nothing to say this is a healthy market. This is a healthy decision. If they're doing something like this and they're barely hitting those levels, it's just starting to show that crypto may not be the answer to get people out of the hole that they put themselves in. And a lot of businesses are going to face, well, what do we do now? Financially speaking, brick and mortars are getting devastated across. And why? It's because people are having what? Less and less money. And now these places are allowing you to what? Finance your food. And these places are now taking your crypto to give you a 12.99 burrito bowl from Chipotle that actually only costs them around 30 cents to a dollar, but they're giving it to you for free because you're going to be able to pay for it with Bitcoin. And for them, it's free if they're accumulating. Like, things like that is what I'm looking at to try, to get bullish on a country that is just reeling. And again, and it's not just America, it's the whole world. And if you realize like all these nasty, nasty dumps that keep happening in the midst of like supposed reversal points, it's kind of fostered to be that way, right? It looks sendish, then back to the bear market type of deal. And it's just easy exit liquidity and a vicious cycle, if you ask me. And this is just part of the problem that businesses think they can just throw away pennies to try to gain more. And it might help them for a season, but for how long? And at some point, as a business, if Bitcoin drops 50%, you're going to have to answer to a lot of investors that don't understand crypto and don't understand that a 50% drop off in crypto is nothing. You just DCA 25% down now, and now you can get back to break even rather quickly. Instead, they're going to be like, dude, you did this. Imagine the board members when crypto goes to the bear market. You can argue that we're still in a bull market, and you can argue that, and I'll be there with you, but you can't argue that the bear market isn't fully here. It's coming. Whether it takes 6 months or a year or 2 years, it's coming. And companies like this cannot survive stupid little mistakes where they go for broke and then they end up being just devastated by it.
One thing that I will say is that it is helping one portion of their business. It cut down transaction fees by 50% compared to credit cards. Also 15% increase in those same store sales for that month. I mean, that's a big deal when you have a chain. So it's definitely, like you said, it's kind of like popping a Band-Aid on it. But if you continue to adapt and make adjustments throughout, the ebbs and flows of it, you might be onto something where they need like a strategist, if not, if they don't have one already, that kind of helps them monitor, hey, this is the time where, accepting Bitcoin it's
dangerous.
Yeah.
It can be at least, right? Because
Or
think about it.
The math also, you think the math could be like exactly what their average that's where they came up with 21 cents, right? They could be getting about 70 million, 7 million a year in payments, and 20,000 employees is 7 million a year if you're doing 21 cents an hour on a 40-hour week. So they could be saying, hey, rather than us getting paid in Bitcoin while it's going down, let's start offering this out as an expenditure back to your whole tax write-off. And it depends, right? Like, I think that if you're a company that's publicly traded and you're doing things like accepting Bitcoin at these levels, and then you're figuring out a way to distribute those resources, you get a marketing ploy, you're putting out, hey, we're getting 8 million a year annualized in payments via Bitcoin. We're giving away 7 million of it. That 1 million is lowering our risk if it does shit the bed. And then at that point, if we do hold on for dear life in 10 years from now, right, you're like, it's a minimal loss. In other words, a minimal risk. So I'm with you all around.
Right.
I have some key points.
No. Right. So here's the final one, and I'll land my plane with it. Dude, people lose their financial futures as financial professionals by having a quarter or two in which you underperform by 3, 5, 6 points. What's going to happen if we are on a 20% pullback? The person that got hired here was probably just somebody that knows crypto's coming, but doesn't really know when to buy. People buy green and sell red when it should be, dude, on all the painful days, we're going to drop a few mil so we can get these 21 cents out to our people for cents on that. And then on top of that, right, you can get 21 cents at a certain value, like let's just say 90K Bitcoin, but I bought it at 84K. So now I'm getting that spread. I'm giving you 21 cents at 90K, not 21 cents at my price, 84K. So there's just, dude, timing matters. And that to me is what's off here. This timing just feels very sus. Why not? Bro, when Trump came into presidency, like they announced they're taking Bitcoin, You could have just went, started accumulating, started doing the bonuses. But yeah, this is just them. Hey, let's
No,
throw
it was
something at the
pre-Trump
wall.
we also-
presidency. It was back in July.
When they started accepting
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
we were
That's
at
what I'm-
Bitcoin Vegas the day they started it.
You mean Bitcoin conference 2025?
Yeah. Or no, that was post
Last
Trump.
year?
I'm tripping.
Trump was
Yeah,
already
it's been a full
president.
year. I'm tripping. My bad. Yeah, so it was post Trump.
Yeah.
My bad.
So that's what I'm saying is the bullishness would have been that day. Hey, not only are we accepting Bitcoin, we're also giving it. Bitcoin was 70,000, 75K. The and I've talked about this many, many times. If you're going to be mass accumulating Bitcoin and your price is above frickin' Michael Saylor's price, you're in trouble. They're going to go after that dude by attacking Bitcoin because they know the easiest way to take out the competition is that way, because all your eggs are truly in that basket for Michael Saylor. So again, man, timing matters. And to me, at least the timing tells me that they don't know what they're doing. This is just some complete random act and hope it sticks. Interesting, right? All right. Anything else you want to add to this? To the take?
Let's look at some charts.
Andrew Ghost? No, you're good. Let's
No,
look
I
at
like
some
some charts running.
Yeah, let's look at some charts. That says, all right, let me go full screen so it looks better for y'all. So, man, before we do anything, we want to go to the, hold on real quick. We want to go and look at the total market cap of crypto. Before I share my screen, let's go share coin market cap. Here we are. Boom. So everyone go with me. Coin market cap goes. I am Mexican and I can hardly read. I know there's no words here, only numbers, but can you please be a dear and tell me the market cap of Go? What does this number say, right?
Oh my god, 3 trillion.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign, cuz.
No, it's not trillion, sir. It's actually below 3 trillion, right? That's what I wanted to really make you guys understand that. Remember that big old took us to 95, 96K Ghost? You remember this, I know, sure, because I talked about this with you. And then what did we come up with? Hey, us not breaking 3.3 trillion was a big deal. Do you recall me saying that? We went to 3.3 trillion and then lost it immediately, went to 3.27, 3.22, and we just hovered at the $3.2 trillion market cap. Another thing, here in greed, I caught the tail end of the top of that when we went to 56, went down to the 52.50, then we went to 46, and look at from last show being at the 46 level to now, we're back at the fear and greed at 32. Absolutely devastating what they are doing with people that get greedy. Okay. And it's so easy to track just with some basic buzzword numbers. 3 trillion is a buzzword. Yes, it's a dollar figure. Yes, it's a representation of one of the greatest runs we ever had in crypto when Bitcoin 69,000. It went from under a 1 trillion market cap to 3 trillion. It was glorious. That's what got me into crypto. But now, with this much adoption and this many people, this is a buzz. And at 3 trillion losing it, you don't want to be losing buzzwords, right? People use buzzwords like to the moon, bull, we're back. They use buzzwords what? To trap you, to use you. So this trap word, right? This buzzword market cap of 3 trillion has been such an easy trap, right? And you continue to see just the devastation. When I look at the top 20, things are starting to put together to what I've been saying all along. Only the realest tokens are going to really be there because everything else is vaporware. Bitcoin, Ethereum, real money, we know that. Tether, duh. Binance has all volume across the world. That's the world's exchange, Binance. It is what it is. XRP, it's America, little bastard child, right? It's America had a love child with something from some weird fantasy world, and then came XRP and the XRP. They're somehow here. Disgusting. USDC expected, stables, Solana expected, the volume, all the criminals are here. So Solana is going to be noteworthy as long as everyone keeps launching exit liquidity scams on here, and you're back up to 15, 20,000 pumped off on tokens per day on a big ass nasty correction market, and people keep playing freaking crap coins. Enjoy. That's why Solana continues to not be 150, 160. That's why Solana continues to underperform RP BNB. And shot that Solana had at taking over Ethereum might be disappearing before our very eyes, Andrew, all because the Solana ecosystem has decided to promote nothing but exit liquidity scams, including the Solana Foundation constantly promoting meme tokens, protocols, and destroying other protocols trying to get their attention. So, anyways, then you have what? Tron? What is Tron doing? Doge? What? We just need a meme coin top 10 just to show that people like us can hold something in the top 10. I got news for you. Dogecoin isn't you and me coin. It's a Bitcoin whales rotate into Dogecoin when no one else sees it. So it's not our coin. It's the market maker's coin. And this is why it's a top 10. Cardano is just a product of political warfare in the American ecosystem, and just how disgusting lobbyism actually is. Lobbyism is what has led to corruption across many, many nations, across many, many hundreds of years. And you can look at the most powerful nations in the history of the world and realize that being a country that accepts lobbyism leads to the destruction of that country, because people will not operate with their love for the country only. It'll always be for the love for themselves, their lineage, their people, and it's why you see top 10s like this. Then it just gets gross from there. Bitcoin Cash is still at 11th. Monero, Chainlink, Uno. I always mess this one up, but Una's said, right? So Leo, you got Stellar, Ethereum, freaking USDE, dog, or Athena, sorry. You got Hyperliquid, Zcash, Zooey under 150, which is just crazy, but yet it's on the 19th spot. And then I don't even know what Anton is. I'm not going to pretend to talk smack about it, or I'm not going to talk smack about it and pretend to know, because I don't know what this trash is. But all I need to know is that this trash made it to the top 20. What is this? And we can just quickly go look at it just to kind of figure out what is going on.
I know a bit about it. It's actually backed by a bunch of banks and stuff.
Oh, cool. So a banking system, a bunch of criminals that use your money to make money and give you 0.01%. Great. Extra bearish. Thank you for confirming my bearishness on that trash. But that made it to the top 20. Something that crypto people do not know, but now you're starting to really see what institutions are doing, and they're taking over your top 20. Remember how fun the top 20 used to be, Andrew? All these alts. Remember AVAX was in the top 12, top 10 for a brief moment, and you just kind of had these glorious events. Now you just have all the vaporware freaking exiting and then wrote into other vaporware, and the few real ones are easy to manipulate, right? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Even though this is trash, XRP and Cardano, they are real because they have real money. So these right here, it's easy to track. And how do I, dude, I can have a conversation. I can do Trade Talk TA just by looking at this page, not even looking at charts. I can tell you these exit liquidities and what's going to happen. This is how I keep nailing these spots. But anyways, we're going to go now to the good stuff, right? Because the good stuff is what matters. And it's the way we've been breaking down this technical analysis. My goodness, bro, we have been on it so much. But now let me just screen share 1 second, because if I'm on full screen, it won't let me share. Here we go. Now I can go to full screen, and let's get to it, baby. So look, man, this is insane. This is insane, insane, insane. People celebrate this red candle. We were in the TG. Many people caught longs. Beautiful longs they caught, I might add. They literally shorted, or I'm sorry, longed, but did short toward the bottom, because that's a long, right? When this chart dumps, we pump. When this chart pumps, we dump. So, anyways, we went to the Toyota ramen territory. For anyone that's been following Trade Talk enjoyers know the importance of the Toyota and ramen territory. Should I say territory? Dude, like, should I, like, how can I be more seasoned? How can I be more fancy? You know, like, instead of saying data, I'm going to say data, you know? But anyways, guys, the pumpy dumpy chart. Do
I
you like
prefer
that?
data. I
Data?
prefer data. Yeah.
Okay. What about what about finances?
Yeah, finances is good. And if you
Okay.
say wealth, just put the H in, so wealth, like that.
Guelph, like Stewie. Okay, Guelph. Okay,
Yes.
cool. I did buy mini wheats, strawberry, and they were okay. But anyways, guys,
Were they white?
only listen. White is a very dangerous word nowadays, especially coming from a halfback. I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir. Okay, we're not gonna have this conversation right now, dude. Okay, we're on professional time, Ghost.
Running wild, bro. I'm a halfback, bro.
Bro, your fullback didn't give you that block, so you just got clothesline. But anyways, Andrew, clothesline. You allowed that chop block, my dude. Damn. Anyways, so look, guys, the Toyota and ramen territory is such a dangerous spot because we have not traded at the Toyota and ramen territory for years. We literally bounced off of it all previous bear market, and on the way to this last 2-year bull market, we rejected there. And and it gets more fun when you do it on the daily. I'm gonna show you guys something. Okay, this is kind of like where I get to be like an analytics freaking just savant, right? So here's what you do: you grab your bars and you measure how many bars we've been. Okay, so now we're looking at right here. We're just gonna call it 1,000 bars, right? It's more, but I always go in the favor of, just averaging it out. So it's hard to be wrong, right? When you try to be precise, you can be wrong a lot. So, anyways, 1,000 bars since 2022, 4 years or so, and look how many bars we've spent on the actual area. Okay, so we're simply gonna just tell you by measuring the little pockets, right? So look at this. Oops, wrong one. So before we broke out, we're gonna count that 20 bars. 50 bars. 80 bars. We didn't even spend the bar there. Oops. Another 25. So 125 bars or so, right? Like let's just even go high and say 200 bars, right? So we spent 200 days out of the last 4 years essentially, right? 3 years. We're going to lower the math. So in 3 years, right, we have spent half of a year. Okay. So 1/6, you know what I'm saying? Like of the time or so. And these little bars that we've spent on here, dude, this is where it gets gross. We literally spent no bars on that wick before the day was over. Ghost, you always caught monthly candles on Solana, how they just don't close above certain points. I'm going on the daily and just showing you just how many bars didn't stay there. We had one bar here, one bar that peaked above. And since then, right, no bars there, no bars there, and then boom, 3 bars, 4 bars, 5, 6, about 20 bars in this area. And not just that, we're right there. This just has not happened. And we are getting consolidation at the sickest support level that I have seen, which is at 5.5%, this box here. So I'm going to color this box white just so you guys watching can kind of see what I'm talking. White. Yeah, so look at this white spot. That has really been the resistance, and we finally broke above, and I wasn't convinced that it was over because every time we keep going there, we are finding support and creating an uptrend. So Pumpy Dumpy is looking insanely disgusting, maybe because of this white zone, but really because of this red Toyota and ramen zone that keeps getting tested. And the second we break above that, we are yet to break above it other than a couple wicks right above that zone. My zone is very, very strict and it's very, very precise. And there's a reason why it's where it's at. And these were all false breakouts before the pullback. This is how we're able to catch longs. We short our Toyota and ramen territory on the first attempt. Even the next few attempts, we continue to be confident. But the other day, and over the last week and a half or so ago, which has really been this pocket, over the last week and a half, I've been warning us, man, this uptrend, it broke the uptrend here, it broke the uptrend there, and now it has the third uptrend that it respects so perfectly from the bottom here. And that's usually a sign of accumulation and a scaled approach to taking your money. So market makers check. They are telling everyone it's over. Everyone longs. They don't close profit. Now they're here. I promise you this morning, there are people who caught this nasty ass long, right? Because they shorted this chart, meaning they long the market. They caught this and now they're DCAing, hoping that they can just get back to break even, right? That's what we try to teach traders not to do. Okay. And anyhow, what's important about USDT Pumpy Dumpy is really what it's doing, which is expect moves. I told you on the 4 hour upcoming bullishness was coming. No matter what, I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is how I'm going to teach the losing traders something. There's plenty of losing traders that longed right here. True or false, Ghost? Do you think traders caught this long right here? Yes, right? We saw it in our TG. People posted long P&L cards.
Absolutely.
Now, I am looking for one answer, so I want to ask you, what do you think happens next and why? Assume you already know what happened, right? So just try to tap into you don't see the next candle. Just tell me what do you think is happening next and why on this just freeze what I'm looking at.
I mean, you got is your light teal
The 8.
the 21 or the 8? The 8.
The
So
21 is the yellow, green is the 50, purple is the 200. This blue turquoise line, that's just a trend.
Yeah, so you're seeing obviously the EMA starting to kind of reclaim itself, right? You got the 8 getting ready to gear up over the 12, or I guess the 21.
Right. Or under, right? Like you look like you're losing bearish momentum. Or I'm sorry, bullish momentum on this chart, and it looks like bearish momentum is coming, which means opposite, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right, right. So that's conventional. I want you to tap into something different, and I'm going to circle it for you, and then please answer again. You see what I circled?
Yeah, your circle.
Right.
Yep.
So the answer that I'm looking for, Ghost, I'll tell you, is if you caught this freaking long, there is absolutely no reason to keep it because the 4 hour 50 is going to cross over the 200 for sure, for sure. The only way to stop it is if you nuked way below that area. Do you see that now?
Of course.
Okay, now follow me. That 50 is coming, right?
Yep.
Do you see it now?
Yeah.
So that's the answer that I was looking for, Ghost. Is if you caught this long, you see green, you take green. You saw red, you take red because the odds of more green candles here, meaning the market's going to dump, are high.
I'm listening. Did I lose you? Check. Am I the only one that lost audio?
Hello? Yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
so.
No, I hear
Okay.
you.
Oh,
It's good. Okay.
I think we all lost it for a minute because I couldn't unmute.
Yeah, I
okay.
couldn't unmute. Yeah, okay. So anyhow, you can find confluence with on the 2 hour knowing all crossings happened. Think about it. You're looking up and you're thinking, man, these highs are kind of becoming topish. So I'm gonna long. Good job, guys. You longed. You hadn't touched the 21 since you broke through it. So on the first try of the 21, you're not going to lose it. You're going to bounce off of there because there's liquidity there. These moving averages are there for a reason. And now you caught the long, but you closed because of the 21, number one. And then you closed because of the incoming 50 over a 200. Bullish momentum is no bueno for your longs when you're looking at Bumpy Dumpy and you're consolidating in Toyota and Ramen. We can go even further and telling you why you close your shorts by going on the 1 hour, right? Because if you're on the 1 hour, you pumped and you hadn't touched the 50 forever. Same thing since you lost it. And you wicked right to it and then back to where you were at. More bearishness because, again, the 4 hour, right? The 2 hour crossing already happened. The 1 hour thing already happened. So, look, if we rejected the 50, we probably rejected the 200 on the 30 minute. No, not quite, but close, right? Heading there. So, the 15-minute 200 rejection is really what it was. So, if you caught a long and then you saw the 15-minute 200, you had 30 minutes to close your trade. You did not close the green candle or this wick. So then you had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to take it before now you're DCA and trying to get back to negative or to break even, right? So that's another sign, the 200 EMA. And look, just by looking at it, how I start finding confluence and start closing trades. When you long from here and you're there, you can open up a new long here. And now you're hedged with 100% move, 50%, whatever you, depending on your leverage. But the point is that you want to start looking at these charts and let the charts dictate what to tell you. Because look, even on the 1 hour, right, to the 50, just like, and again, look, we hadn't touched the 50 since we took off from it. Any questions so far on that? Ghost, does that sound pretty clear? Like, does that, obviously you might be a novice trader and these things just kind of sound like a lot to you, but for any trader, please tell me if I'm making this pretty easy, because you can't lose big support on the first try. Look at even that first bounce to the 21. We bounced from there. So whoever caught that short there is beautiful, but same thing, you close because you get exhausted. But any questions or how can you clarify the statement even further, Ghost? How just by looking at certain charts, you can start looking at why to close these trades.
No, 100%. I mean, I think if you're just going off of moving averages alone, it is a lagging indicator, but it's still an indication of what's to come for support or resistance. Same could be true when it's flipped and you have these price points coming up to these moving averages that they lost. It's same thing. It's going to bump its head first. It's not just going to blow right through it the first time, right? So you see, first there was a test of the 21, multiple tests before finally losing it. Then you see your test of the yellows, your 50. The yellow's your 50.
Yellow is my 21.
Okay, sorry. So it's testing the 8 the whole time, right? Finally loses the 8, and you get your first test of the 21. Of course, it holds the 21 before eventually breaking through the 21. Now it's holding the E. Is that your 100? The green?
The green is the 50, and the purple is the 200. I only use the 8, 21, 50, and 200.
Got it. So I use the 12, 50, 100, 200. So that's the only difference on that. But yeah, you come down, you test it. First time, you're most likely going to hold it as support. Good place to close out. If this is your USDT chart, you know it's the opposite to be said. So if you're in longs and it's testing a moving average, get out of Dodge at that point, especially the first track. Second time around, it loses it, comes down to the lower moving averages. And once again, if you're still holding,
Yeah, Turn
We'll
off
take
the.
it.
I don't even run the heater like that inside.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I have the heater on, bro, in this my new office shed, and it's 71 in here. There's 40 degrees outside. So we are wondering if my insulation job worked. It worked. It's 71 in here. Sorry. I thought I was on mute, so my bad being rude, but I might as well explain why I was being rude on to all the listeners.
No, you're good. I was just reiterating what your point was. If it's holding the 8 the entire time, and then it finally loses that, you better bet your bottom dollar it's going to come down to another moving average. In this case, the 21, and it held. So if you're in long, as soon as this comes down to the 21, that's a great place to eject, take some profit at least, and keep it pushing. And then the third time around, didn't just test the 8 and the 21 and blew through it, but then came to the 50 and held. Again, taking your profits, your longs right there makes sense.
Right. And a lagging indicator actually helps you there, bro.
Yeah,
Because it's a lagging. Well, think about it. If you're ahead of it live, what's coming is sooner than what the EMA is going to tell you. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that I've tapped into why it's kind of like Tony Romo and Tom Brady, bro, out here freaking doing some insane color commentating work. I am like an announcer, telling you the sport of what we're seeing, and then I'm predicting what's coming because I know it's 3rd and 6, they're gonna blitz, so that screen is very likely. So when I'm calling a screen and the screen happens 7 out of 10 times, it's not a coincidence, right? So it's just pretty interesting, dude, the way just math works, and that's why I love EMAs. And the EMAs are simply because they're exponential, meaning they're quicker, they're ready to move and adapt and change, so they're less laggy than all moving averages, because all moving averages are laggy. You need data to then tell you what the average is. So for me, I watch charts enough that I've gotten to learn the dollar amount that's in the market. So when the dollar amount increases, that's the only way that I can act, and that I'll act in a way where it's kind of hard to predict. Like when we hit 4.5 trillion market cap, we had never been there before, Ghost. So you never heard me say, this is over, it's never coming back. But I always said, but because we've never been here, it seems we ran out of steam. And just take my presidency, January 283. We didn't break 300 and running. Yeah, this is an easy close for me on all my spot stuff. Then came the big ass dump, and it's the same thing, right? Because averages are no longer there. So before the chart tells me that, hey, it's going to grab the 8 or the 12 EMA, I can see it in advance just based off of a few other metrics, right? There isn't just a one thing tells you everything, but obviously I'm helping you guys learn an element that I know you guys don't add, because I know most people don't trade like this, because the way I came up in this trading game is just kind of like a weird one. Not just right, like whenever you get traded, you get taught by the YouTube streets, the crypto X streets. Uses charts to manipulate to extract as much as they can of bears and bulls. These market makers are gross, but hey, that's what their career is, and they provide liquidity, but with the realization that, hey, we're here to make money. I'll provide you liquidity, but you need to let me wreck your traders, right? So Binance wrecks people all the time. I don't get mad at them. It's like, dude, it is what it is, bro. Market makers are trying to do those liquidation candles for you. Like, look at this liquidation, right? Like, that's freaking nasty, bro. Like that Cook reversal, bro, almost immediately when everyone's already celebrating their P&Ls, and oh my goodness, the market's green, and then boom, USD. It blends in green for green and sabotages it. Cheerios, or what's that one thing? You're acting like someone peed in your.
No, it's don't piss in my cereal and tell me it's milk. Bro, I don't know if it's my end or what, but you be going in and out today, dog. Is it weather conditions for y'all out there or what?
We'd like to thank you for coming to Trade Talk today with your hosts, Massimo AF and Ghost AF. I don't know what's going on, man.
Massimo, you hear me this whole time at least?
Yeah, I just was talking. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, dude. No, I hear you.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened with Clutch. But yeah, dude, it's you and I today, bro. Motivate University.
You mean G-Pub. Let's go.
Can you guys hear
What's
me?
up, people?
Hey guys.
We got you.
Yo, yo, yo.
I hear you. I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was like just me and Clutch are on like the
I'm back.
Okay,
And he's back.
Well, I'm back. I'm on the Clutch Foundation page. It just completely shut me down. Hold on. I think like it just booted me, but it didn't end the stream because like the stream's not.
And we lost him again. You know, he comes up
Hold
on
on.
StreamYard.
I'm back on the Novex account, so I at least got it to work. Like I'm back. The stream's still going, so that's a good thing. Man,
Oh,
yeah.
no. I don't know,
This
man.
is-
You come on StreamYard and you're like, ah, man, this is trash. And
No, but this was me. I told you my Wi-Fi booted me. It was my Wi-Fi. I had a Wi-Fi issue.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but and if anything, how cool that I personally started the stream, lost Wi-Fi on my PC, and it didn't end the stream. So if anything, I'm actually going to celebrate that a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I've never had that issue on. I don't think StreamYard's like same as Spaces. Spaces will literally boot you off, bro. It's so annoying.
Right.
I think streaming is different because it's multiple channels, low key, or they give us a longer timer, maybe.
Right. So look, I'm at least able to screen share and it works, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
we see it.
Yeah. So there you go. So good thing I'm always prepared and end up fixing my mistakes, guys. So all I was getting to, I don't know what the last part you guys heard from me, but what I was getting to is just this is a liquidation candle. Look at this nasty 1 hour reversal. It's not a reversal, bro. They're keeping the chart right around Toyota and Ramen. And when we go down to 6% down here, even 5.5%, zoom out, Ghost. Where are we really trading? In Toyota and Ramen territory, right? But remember the fear, okay? I warned us. Watch this candle get reversed and go frickin' green. It was green briefly. I'm scared, guys. Candles like this just don't frickin' happen. Let's measure this wick and let's go find another wick. Let's make it white. Have you done this so far? Look at these look at this. Every time we got big ass rejections. Like, look, fake bear market, same size wick, dude. Look at that. Sends us to the lifetime trend, right? Big old wick to the upside sends us just nasty rejection. Look at these big old wicks, bro. These big old wicks signal big old reversals, dog. It's freaking nasty. What do you think on that one?
any takes on that? But look, we are literally trading in between the Toyota and ramen territory. We're right there. Crazy. Big ass wick here too. Look at that. Another fake bear market. The wick covers just about that whole thing. Look at that. Same with this one. Oops. Damn. So what do you think's gonna happen here over the next couple days? Am I back or can y'all hear me? Yeah,
Yeah,
good. Okay. Um, like what are you guys thinking here is gonna happen? Because I kind of got a pretty decent idea and it's not good.
I think we're right back to that same scenario, bro. We're just in this wedge, just rattling back and forth. So I think we still come down and tap some shit. I mean, I think we still get a little pop here and there, whether it's exit liquidity or not. I think we're
Right.
still going to get a little bit of a pop towards that green daily trend. It's just happened so many times since I've been in the mix, even watching it with you.
Right. So look at my screen, look at the 12-hour chart, look at the nasty bounce off the 200, reclaimed the 8 after trading sideways and have blown through. And now the 8, we bounced off of it. And now this 21 is about to cross above the 50. I think that cross is what's going to finally, because think about it, we reached Toyota and ramen with no upcoming crosses on like all the big time frames. The monthly cross, because remember, all the monthly crosses had already happened. Look at this. It's has already happened. The weekly crosses are what got us there. Boom. This triple cross got us there. This 12-hour, look at the gap that it had. So we blew through that and we just couldn't sustain it there. Because again, the EMAs tell us a story, the incoming amount of buyers versus sellers, right? On any chart. So on this chart, market makers realized, dude, there's no more liquidity here. People aren't buying. Fear and greed was sub 10. Remember that? That was here. They're like, dude, let them have it. One fake pump, two fake pumps. But now all they did was drag these EMAs down, set it up to where now look at the 8, the frickin' 21 and 50. Now they're going to use each other, which again hasn't happened on any of this run up. This is our first time in this dump that we've had over the last couple months, whatever it's been. The first time that we've been this close to Toyota and ramen with this much bullish sentiment incoming. On the daily, look at the 8 and 21. We got that little crossover. Boom. Got us there. So if we can survive the onslaught of the 12-hour, the 8-hour already gave us everything, right? You got the 6-hour already gave us, look, the 50 over 200 just now on the last candle. The 4 hours income in the 50. So this 4-hour and 12-hour. The 2-hour already gave us everything. 1 hour, 30. Everything already gave us that. So that's how you'll know the next move. And so once I dial in on those moves, for me is there's a pullback coming because before an upcoming big move like this, they're going to come grab liquidity. So within 3 12-hour candles, the cross will happen. And if we're still above the 50 and 21, like in this little area here, if we're above 6% essentially, but really like just 6.05%, you're going to frickin' have this cross happen and we're going to get through Toyota and ramen for once. We've wicked a couple times, stayed very little there, very little bars. We've stayed in there, very little bars. 1,000, 1,200 bars we've spent historically in this area. This is the first time we've been there with this much bullish momentum. Ouch. Now, there's not a lot of bullish momentum left, but this is the most bullish momentum this chart has had at this zone. Don't at me. I'm not the billionaire market maker that said, screw you guys.
You know, I don't know who
I,
the heck you're talking to when you said screw you guys, dude, but my port's down right now, bro, and I felt like you were talking about me.
I, I actually was. That's it. No, hey, but straight up, all I'm telling you,
Half white privileged.
well, look, you can be half right by longing correctly and then being up big and then
No,
not
half
close.
white privilege.
Oh,
Half white.
the half white side of you I'm speaking to right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, correct. All right, sir. Properly diagnosing the issue on hand will really come down to a few level of and different metrics provided uh, on a case by case basis. We're going to need to extract your API records so we can get a detailed report of exactly what you're doing wrong. Once we go over the report, we will game plan a proper wealth management strategy for you, in which we will assure you of a 777 credit score once you're done with an under leveraged portfolio, but that's good because that 2 to 4% is going to be stacking up and compounding religiously.
I'm all about compounding, bro. It's my favorite.
No, hey, scary though. That was kind of the trade talk hook, just so you guys know. We've never been at the Toyota and ramen territory with this much bullish momentum left. It's scary, bro. The 4, the 12. Also, the 2 week was looking nasty. Watch, let me go show you the 2 week real quick. Oof. Look, remember that cross that was coming? We pulled back because before the cross or even during the cross, they'll pull it back and then boom, the liquidity grab. Damn, this does not look good. Because if you were to like this create the trend this way, goes, look at this. From here. Oh, we got a perfect trend. And this is on the 2 week. Ouch. Let's go to the weekly. Damn, that's your tail, essay. Are you ready for this kind of devastation, essay? Right? Like I don't have this line. I just got the Toyota and ramen spot. But yeah, that's why. What those locos for life, eh? You're in trouble, carnal, if you're just gonna long, just a long.
Mm.
I want to catch the big old rejection right after it crosses that. And then think about it. Before something freaking takes off from here, it's gonna do this. I feel. Boom, 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 right? It's gonna do that same N that it's doing now. Yo, that's a real ninja move right there, dog. Look at this big O N. That's the play, ese. You see it? It's
Looks
gonna
like
do
looks like
una, dos, right? Oh, I did the wrong indicator, is it? The
it looks
wrong
like
tool.
Novex full in for Novex full.
Hey, vato, the N should be for Novex, carnal. That's right. Listen, look at this Novex move. I'm gonna I'm gonna upload the Novex logo, and every time I notice the pullbacks take off, I'm just gonna slap the Novex right here, bro. You've been Novex fine. That's it.
Dog, for real.
That goes freaking hard, bro. Just look, just identifying all the ends, bro. You know, it's just vatos locos for life. Look at this. You know, you can even go backwards, carnal. You know, we'll find a lot more ends over here also. Like this one was Monica. We did not like it. It was not an N. It was an M.
Nah,
we like Nancy's around here, not Monica's. Hey, it's a W if you short it though. If you looked at the chart the right way, it was a big old W, carnal.
it's a win-win, bro.
It's a win-win. That's it. So listen, if you're a trade talk enjoyer, you saw W. If you paid attention to your favorite show influencers, you got Monica. Damn, vato. And now look at this devastating crosses with super support on the 200. So this does not. Look good, carnal. Let's look at the 12-hour backwards. I have not inverted the 12-hour yet. So let me see. Oh, fudge, Keisha. Damn. Look at this. A one and a two. This Monica has been shaping up for longer, carnal. Look at this. That's a big old Monica. That's a McDonald's damn fool. That's not even Monica, bro. That's McDonald's. Boom. Boom. Damn, bro.
For the Shake Shack, where are the S's? Can we make it sideways instead of inverted full and put the S for Shake Shack full?
Well, I don't know because you can't see me right now, but my PC is sideways, bro. So, like, for me, it's an S.
Should I just turn my head to the right? Hold on. Do I sound any different upside down, fool?
Yeah, your voice echoes different because it's coming through your eardrum first. Hey, bro, there's no chance that science can't prove me right there. Like, that's how sound waves work. Been
Let's
watching
do
a lot of these cool sciency shows. Now, hey guys, all jokes aside, we joke around a lot, but just understand it's because it feels like Max Payne season's not even here. We still got 90K Bitcoin. Like we still, I mean, we're under 3 trillion now, but carnal, $3 trillion. That's it. We're like the wine industry, eh? You know, they got a little bit more than us. The wine industry probably has like 30 trillion, carnal. Low key, people don't report what they got, but we
That's
want
crazy.
that. We want that wine money. You feel me? And once the wine money starts selling wine to each other with just Bitcoin, right? Instead of converting the dollars and the gold and the things that they use to make deals happen. Like, yeah, I'll give you that $100 million property, bro. Just give me your wine collection. All right, that sounds good. You know, it's wealth that never goes away, and it just gets better with time. The worse it tastes, the more valuable it gets. But no, all jokes aside, this is not a good situation if you are left alone. So don't be left alone. Come through, vibe with us, and just understand that, you know, we know what we're talking about for a reason. And those reasons are really like, we want to keep you guys protected. Stop longing and shorting at the wrong levels. I don't even have to look at any other chart. Like notice today we just looked at Pumpy Dumpy. Um, you know, but there's merit to these things. Look at us heading to more gaps we've had, but really just bearish momentum on its way for a lot of charts. So, like, I've taught you how to break down charts. So, you should be able to do this alone. But look at that 21 under a 50 cross on the weekly for the CME. It hasn't happened yet, guys. It hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. Look at this. It's right there. Look at the price difference. It was $300-400 yesterday. Now it's freaking nothing. It's coming. People are gonna wake up, get this indicator signal, and go, fudge, I'm break even now. What do I do? Because people long these wicks, guys. I promise you, people long these wicks and have not closed. And the market makers always say, oh, yeah? Look at the 5 day. Damn, nasty, bro. Same thing. The 5 day is about to happen any minute now. So, yeah, this is not a good spot to be in, but look at the weekly. Yeah, it hasn't happened for Bitcoin futures either. Let's go see how close it is. Dee-nee-nee. Oh man, dude. What do you want to guess the percent on this? Ghost? Let's
0.05.
right there. 0.16%. You're close.
I was close, dog. I was
Yeah.
close, dog.
But damn, right? Like, that's not freaking good. And you know, that that's coming. And it's gonna come test this trend. That alley, I'm sorry, because it's not a trend, right? But I've tested. So the reason why I have it coming down from here is after we got the bottom, this was the swing low that was confirmed. This trend, this was gonna be the absolute bottom for Bitcoin unless it just went to zero ever, right? And it's just kept giving us those. 15K was that. So this is why I do the trends from there. And even if you do the trend from here, look how this trend right here, up here, that's heading there, that I think we're going to head down towards, it's eerily close from this bottom here. You know, it's going to land in between these two. But anyways, so how I do my alleys is notice how it goes from that bottom. And then also when it lost the swing low, that gave us the bear market. And it was the trend that we broke out of and kept testing and have kept testing, because all these wicks and everything that's happened, I drew all this years ago, right? I'm like, people have had my charts for a while. I've been posting pictures and trade talk and all that. And it's just funny that all these moments, right? We would head towards, we would short towards I would never catch all the way below it until like here. I remember it broke through here, and that was my first sign that it's going to keep happening. So I kept shorting, you know. I didn't catch big breakout longs like with leverage, but with spot, dude, I just kept accumulating at the 50s, just buying Bitcoin nonstop, buying Solana. And anyways, but yeah, so you notice that alley, it just keeps showing up. Look at this wick, didn't even break it. Look at that, didn't even go to it. And I didn't move it, right? So that was my sign. I was like, wait, they're gonna go through it again. And I became even more short on this wick. Have you noticed, Ghost, I've gone more bearish now than even before? Like I was bearish at the top because that's not me being bearish. That's me being smart. It's clearly the top. I'm just exiting positions and shorting because take the free freaking money. I became bearish here. Like, whoa, I don't like it because we finally did what? Broke right through it. And that's like, okay, I'm going to see these wicks go long, scalpy scalp, but every pump I'm freaking shorting. Every massive EMA that it gets to on whatever time frames. And that's just how I break down charts, guys, and just look at everything and it's able to tell me what's it doing. And now let's go to your local Ethereum trash, because we knew on the daily it had went all the way to the frickin' 200 and passed it when everything else hadn't even sniffed the daily, really. Like Solana didn't go to its daily. Look how much gap. Bitcoin didn't go to its daily 200. You know, smaller gap, but gap nonetheless. So when you're just looking at all this, Ethereum is now back to where it belonged with the rest of the market and that value prop, and that's heading towards the weekly 200s, guys. That 21 under a 50 is coming. We now lost the 8. 21's rapidly coming down. You know, if you're an Ethereum guy, enjoy. Sure hope you took profits. Odds are you didn't because you love Ethereum. Well, if you loved it at 3K plus and you love it at 2,900, I suggest you start getting a little liking for it at that $2,400 spot. That's where it's freaking going, which is simply the 200 EMA. And every time it wicks to it but doesn't go to it, and we see it on a lagging indicator basis, it's almost like those signs that you're going to start breaking it next time. So I really feel even if the market holds up, this ends up being the bottom range. Ethereum's going to give us that little 23, 24, $2,500 entrance before it starts trying to take off again. But what you don't want to see is the 21, the 50, and the 8 crossing under the 200 over the next few weeks. Because if it does, Ethereum has a long, long way to go. Just like with everything else. But, Ethereum gave us a bear market bottom more recently than everything else, right? We know the $900 bear market bottom. But look at this little run up to 13, 1400. It's giving you different types of an ecosystem. And yeah, so you're either going to have the head, shoulder, shoulder, and we frickin' fly, inverse head and shoulder, right? That's what people are saying. You may have seen this on the timeline, but Ethereum on the weekly, right? Look at the head, shoulder, shoulder at the 200, even if it goes to the areas I'm talking about, right? This is why I'm saying that. So, and you can measure the base. It can frickin' go towards the 5, 6K levels where it should have been. It hasn't. Why? But it might keep that structure. Be on the lookout for it. Let's do a little Solana TA on the weekly. It wicked right towards the 200. Oops. On the weekly, it wicked right to the 200 here. It's 122. And we went, what was the low on this kind of 124? Yeah, so you're right below your 12, you're right below your 8, squeezed in between the 200. These EMAs are closer to heading under the 200 again because Solana's front running, right? EMA's weekly on Solana, looking on Ethereum, right? Look at that gap from here to there. Let's measure it actually. So under. We're going to measure 200 to the 21 to get a full scope. 200 to 21. 25% gap. %, 25. So I guess no real gap. It's the same, just bigger gap on Ethereum because it's more, you know, it's more stable. Looks it's less volatile than Solana. But all right, Ghost, maybe you get your inverse head and shoulders with Solana here pronto, and we run up to the 50 at least. We'll meet the 50 like right here. Boom. Solana 155 finally. That 138 or 155 zone that it should have hit here that it didn't because it still had so much bearish momentum coming. And now it can kind of start curling. We can zigzag here, wick there, and then that's a very possible move for Solana here. It's front running to the 200 and not losing it for a reason. What do you
Yeah, you definitely get that inverse head and shoulders.
think? That's
I
all I
can't hear
got
you,
for
bro.
you. Yo, yo, can you hear me? I'm back.
It's choppy, but yeah, we can hear you again.
You're something super static too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
this is
sounds
freaking trick. Yeah, well, I butchered the Wi-Fi on my PC. It's not freaking working. Well, my Wi-Fi's back on, but I'm saying I messed up the stream. But we're gonna wrap up the stream, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Check out Novex Finance. Go to Novex Fi. On the TG, just type it up. You don't need a link. You can find this easily. It's a free TG. And just look out for all the content. Streams, poker, gaming, you name it. We'll be around. Thank you for stopping by. Let us know your thoughts. If you have any other questions, things you want to see us cover for next episode, Friday, I'll catch you guys again at noon Eastern. But much love, everybody. I think I do have an uploaded song on the PC that hopefully it works. If it does, enjoy the music. We'll definitely, we'll be around, but we definitely appreciate you guys. Keep showing up. You guys keep us motivated to keep just giving y'all the market sentiment, and what it needs to be. But this was Trade Talk. Go like and repost. Go join the TG. We'll see you around.
Charts light up, glow brighter than the Vegas Strip. CME gaps, got the streets on a crypto trip. Candles dancing, wigs slicker than a hustler's drip. Novex move silent, no need for a clip. Legend in the trade, fingerprints on the block. Blockchain buzzing every tick like a Glock. Defy dreams, I'm stacking on that E-Rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex finance where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never slip. West side grind, making coins do flips. Bulls charge hard, bears lurking in the fog. Patterns in the smoke, I'm the wizard with the log. Fibonacci spirals, I'm the code in the cog. Crypto moves sharper than a diamond-studded dog. Green and red candles, paint Picasso on the screen. Liquidity pools deep, pockets never lean. Well swim silent, but I peep the scheme. Alpha moves nightly. Cashing out the dream. From the Satoshi code to the ether's flame. Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charts speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West side rider, blockchain my flame.